14 years later, now the damn video wants to start. Even my camera don't want to work right. Okay, cool. Hello, how are ya? How's it going? It's been a year, hasn't it? Said I was gonna come back in 2020. What can I say? Coronavirus. Nation worldwide shutdown. Just 2020 in general. So, ain't much to say about that, but welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. I've been gone for a minute, obviously, and I happen to have an extra day off today, so I'm like, you know what, I don't really have shit to do today. I've got some time to sit down and chat, do a little kiki for a little while. I just wanted to see how you all are doing, how you're holding up. 2020 was a year. 2020 was rough, for real. Between the start of the pandemic, worldwide shutdown, the Trump presidency, the election, racial injustices, shootings, killing, rioting, protesting, we've been through a lot this year, and it's been mentally taxing, and it's hard. The loss of so many loved ones, it's been a doozy. But here we are, 2021. It's not, 100%. We're not back to normal, but I do see a small glimmer of hope that we are climbing ourselves out of this nightmare, pretty much. Biden's in office, thank goodness. So, I do see some light at the end of that tunnel. Slowly but surely, we will get to some type of normalcy. It's not going to go back to 100%, but it definitely has to be better than it was. So yeah, I'm just coming on here really quick to just check in on you guys, see how you're doing. What have you been up to during this last year? Let me know down below. I want to know how throughout the whole mess and mist of this pandemic, the immense amount of sadness and death going on and all of that, how have you been able to maintain your joy? How have you been keeping your mental spirits up? Let me know down below. So what I've been doing for the last year, for 2020, this whole pandemic, I started making candles. So in the beginning, at the start of the pandemic, I worked full-time in a furniture showroom, and when we got shut down, when this whole city shut down here in Philly, I was lost. I was pretty sad, just like everybody else. This immense wave of sadness washed over me, just because the uncertainty, there's so much uncertainty at that time. We shut down here like March 16th or something like that. So it's just a lot of uncertainty. Am I going to get paid? How am I going to pay my rent? It's one thing. Them motherfucking bills, they will not shut down. They will not stop for nothing, not even a worldwide pandemic. If anything, everything else stops, but them bills is gonna keep coming in. I tell you, the rent is still gonna be due. So it's just this wave of sadness at the loss of your normal, your routine, your daily routine. You're like, what am I going to do with myself, and how am I going to pay my bills? So for the first 2 weeks, I was pretty stressed, like everybody else. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. Fortunately enough, I was one of the rare few that while I wasn't in the office, I wasn't actually working, our company was still paying us. They cut our pay significantly, but I couldn't complain when I was hearing stories about people losing their jobs altogether. So, I was like, you know what? I'm not in any place to complain about this. While it's going to be tight, I really am thankful that I was still able to be paid in the beginning of the pandemic. So, yeah, the first 2 weeks, I was lost. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. I was still trying to mentally compute what was happening in the world, in our city with the pandemic. And I'm just like, wow. All I could do was lay in bed. I cried. I was scared. This was a scary, scary time. So First 2 weeks, I was stuck in bed, sad. After those 3 weeks, I started to, wasn't 100% better, but I started to get into like a routine, started to get into like my new normal for the time. But one thing that was always lingering in the back of my mind is, okay, what is going to happen if my job decides that they don't want to pay us anymore? So, I'm thinking, what's things that I can, what can I do? How many side hustles can I start up right now? What can I do to start making more income, just so I'm not lost if my job decides to up and stop paying us? And if you guys don't know already, if I know I've spoken about it in the past in certain videos, in addition to my full-time job and what I did here on YouTube, I have my own business. I am a jewelry designer and accessory designer. I'll leave my link right here for the name, the website, and the link down below. So at that time, I had my full-time job and I was still making jewelry, doing sales. And when everything shut down, my manufacturers, who I get my supplies from, they all shut down too, and they were experiencing significant delays. So I ended up having to shut my business down temporarily. So that really got me stressed. I'm like, okay, I only have one income coming in right now. So I need to find some type of way, something that I can do to generate income in this for the future. So I decided, I was experimenting with a lot of things. I thought I wanted to open up a clothing boutique, but I wound up coming into the idea of making candles, because I've always had an obsession with candles. Fragrance and scent is something that I've been passionate about forever. I've always, formulated my own scents, my own perfumes. So it was kind of a natural progression to candle making. It's something that I never thought of before. Just like the inception of my business, all of my passions are formed in times of great despair and rough patches in my life. So I discovered candle making and absolutely fell in love with it. So that's what I did during the pandemic, was learn how to make candles. And in learning how to make the candles and measure out the fragrances and the art form of making candles, I found my joy. So I didn't have that for a while in the start of this pandemic, in the midst of it, hearing about everybody that passed away from the virus and just the uncertainty of everything. I was not in a happy place, and making the candles really helped me, find my joy. It was my sanity. Sometimes the news was just overwhelming, so I had to turn it off. And my one form of comfort, in addition to snacking on tasty cakes, whatever, COVID-15, I made candles. So that really, I'm so thankful that I discovered candle making, because like I said, that was really my source of sanity. It kept me happy. It kept me sane, because it's easy, very easy to slip into a very deep depression. Doing these little things to keep you happy, to keep your spirits up, is very important. And that's one thing that I was worried about. A lot of people, during this pandemic, what are they doing to stay happy? What are they doing to find their joy? And like I said, thankfully, candle making was that for me. And I got good at it. I came out with some hot fire. So, I was under lockdown. We had our stay-at-home order until like May, but I didn't end up going back to work until June. So that was a hard transition in itself. Going back to work after having so much time off was weird, because you're like, I don't remember how to do anything. And with me being an entrepreneur, I've never had that much time off to really think about myself, really think about my business, think about where I wanted to go. So that was like, the best thing that I've ever experienced. I've never experienced anything like that. And I probably won't again until I decide to work full-time for myself. So transitioning back to work after having that much time, that much freedom, that much creative freedom was hard. And even though it's months later, boiling into 2021, I'm still struggling with that loss of that freedom. I'm still trying to chase that feeling that I had when I was making the candles, doing everything with my business, essentially full time until I went back to work. So the transition was rough. I'm in a better place now with my job, well, whatever, but I'm in an even better place now with my business, because as things started to not normalize, but they got somewhat back to a normal shipping schedule, I was able to open up my business again and actually launch this new sector in my business, launch the candles back in October. So I've been, doing that for the time being, really just getting my name out there, getting that exposure for my candles so I can make enough sales so I can quit my job eventually. So yeah, that's what I've done. That's what I've been doing right now. And that's what I'll be probably doing for the foreseeable future. So besides that, other things that I've been doing during the pandemic or during 2020 is I redid my hair. I have a pixie cut now. I've relaxed it and I cut my own hair and I am in love with it. Oh yes, I am relaxed and I am fine with that. But how cute do I look? So that kind of has inspired me in this new year. In the videos that I'm going to make, I'm going to incorporate a couple videos for pixie cuts, because it's one thing that I've never explored on this channel. I don't plan to go too in depth with it because I literally wear my hair in one style, but I will probably have some videos on pixie cuts and styling, well, how I style my hair and how I mold my own hair. It's more so videos based on what I do, more so like an actual tutorial. But if you do have any questions, if you have a pixie cut or thinking about a pixie cut, you can always leave me some questions down below. In the next video that I do, I will incorporate it, because I do plan on filming a video soon, because your girl needs a relaxer touch up and she needs to get her hair cut. So you guys, I'll bring you guys in on that. I'm not gonna sit on here all day talk your ear off, because Lord knows you know that I can. I just wanted to hop on really quickly just to see how you're doing, let you know what I've been up to, and to let you know that I am coming back this year. I am going to be coming out with some videos. Instead of sitting here listing out all the things that I want to do, I am just going to come out with it. So you will see a video, another video uploaded soon. That's it. That's pretty much it. So I hope that you guys, are safe. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you are doing everything that you need to do to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. And as always, thank you guys for being subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to me in my bouts of absence. I do plan on coming back very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And I will talk to you later. Bye.